Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Chris. I'm with the Automated Agent, and we're doing a quick little interview here with Bob Hayes. Bob is based out of Texas, and Bob, why don't you introduce ourselves or yourself?
Well, I'm Bob Hayes. My son is a realtor with eXp Realty, and I do his marketing and back office. He has the skill set of being an outside guy, and I have the skill set of being an inside guy, and we sort of complement each other. And I enjoy doing the marketing for him and helping with lead generation and lead interaction.
Okay. So how long you guys been in business for yourselves?
Pat's been in business for about 5 years. He started as with a boutique brokerage that didn't have a lot of lead generation systems or retail or realtor management systems, and ultimately, well, he was their first and he was their first agent as well as being their top agent with. Of,
You're doing great, Bob. Don't worry about it.
it's just terrible. It's terrible. I mean, let's see. Pat was Pat started as in real estate with a boutique brokerage. They were small, didn't have a lot of systems for lead generation, didn't have a lot of systems for real estate management, and he ended up in the 2 years he was their top real estate agent of about 62 agents. Uh, he he But he was frustrated because he didn't have the systems and had to go outside and buy training. And then he was presented with an opportunity with eXp Realty, who had uh, really, really great lead generation systems. So he changed agencies, is now using initially KV Conversion and now KV Core. And along the way, he was at his boutique brokerage, and now he has a real estate team, and so therefore lead generation was very important to him, and he was frustrated that he couldn't generate enough leads to satisfy his team. So with KV Core, that solved the lead generation issue. However, he still had problems with screening all the leads that he was receiving. He was a very busy guy and wasn't always available to take the phone calls whenever the leads came in. And so he was looking for a solution, and he was a bit frustrated because KV Core did most of the things that he needed. However, it didn't do everything that he was looking for.
Okay. Gotcha. So when he first got started, as you said, he was in a boutique brokerage where there wasn't a lot of support, wasn't a lot of systems. It was really kind of fend for yourself. You figure it out yourself. This is your business. But this really frustrated him. So did he have a team while he was at the boutique brokerage?
Yes, he in his first year, no. I think he did about $3.5 million in his first year, and then in his second year, he did about $12.5 million with a team of I think it was 3 people. And real estate is his passion. He loves real estate, and he loves to attract agents to his brokerage, and he was their top agents from both a selling and closing perspective, as well as bringing agents to their team.
Okay. And then you kind of talked about, so he was looking to generate a lot of leads. So leads were a big issue at first because he had to provide his team with leads. Um, but once he got those leads, what was happening?
Well, he had several issues. In our After moving over to conversion, uh, we had plenty of leads, and we advertised on Facebook and Craigslist and Google, and we're generating a lot of leads. However, with internet leads, it takes about 100 leads to generate one or two good clients, and that's a lot of phone calls. And he wasn't always available to take the phone calls because we didn't have a team version of our CRM. And so therefore he was the one that was expected to transfer and send over the leads to his agents. And he was missing so many calls that, we just were frustrated. And so he was looking around for what else might be available. We've tried numerous systems. We've had ISAs. We haven't been successful with ISAs because they didn't seem to be productive. We didn't get the results that we were promised whenever we were presented with their services.
Okay. So then he tried to bring other people in to really help him solve this problem, which was the lead management and qualification, primarily because he wanted to continue producing and continue growing his business while also helping his agents.
That's correct.
So how long did it take, or how long were you guys searching for this solution to figure out how to manage all this? I mean,
probably 2 years.
okay.
He was at a real estate continuing education class last December, and came upon a solution that was voila. I think I have something that might solve my problem. And it was a system that allowed us to manage all of our leads, which we could do in conversion. However, we didn't have the ability to rotate the leads to our agents and then sort of understand and be able to track what our agents were doing with the leads. And so we got all excited and said, hey, this is going to be much better than the ISAs, because the system was really artificial intelligence that allowed conversational text back and forth between the lead and the automated artificial intelligence, such that Pat didn't have to take every call, and there would be a screening of the leads to see how serious they might be. Many leads come in, they click on the Facebook post and they're just looking, and not necessarily serious. We were interested in obviously in the leads that were truly interested in buying. They needed help and assistance. They knew what they wanted. They knew the area of town they wanted to live in, and so this artificial intelligence system allowed for all of that. It also allowed for me to keep track of the agents and what they were doing and how they were handling the leads, as well as managing the lead generation.
So for your agents, so you talk a lot about managing them, really making sure that they're doing what they're doing. Were you having a lot of problems with your agents before?
Well, yes, and it's probably not unique to us. I think agents, it's too easy for agents to say that the leads are not worth anything. We needed confirmation that the agents were actually attempting to contact the lead or are doing something, as opposed to just arbitrarily saying no. They're not leads that are productive, and I don't want to waste my time calling them. Well, that's not how you discover the true lead, and so we didn't know anything about artificial intelligence, and this was really, really unique. And it seems like AI is the future, and so we were willing to try. A new concept, because some of all of our old concepts weren't working, and we had a team, and we were focused on presenting as many leads to the team. At one time, recently, we were generating 100 leads a week, and that's a lot of phone calls. And while it takes 100 to generate 1 to 2 good buyers, Pat didn't have the time. The agents didn't have the time to talk to 100 people. And so we found a system that does that for us as smartly as it can, and in a conversational way, such that the lead is not aware that they're talking or texting to a system. We make it sound like that they're texting with Pat.
Okay. So have you ever had like a lead say, "Hey, I know this isn't a real person"? Have you ever had that before?
Well, yes, it has happened. We've modified. We have to. It's not like the system is smart out of the box. We have to help it learn things, and we have to say things in a way that is conversational. They're I'm from the old school. Since I'm retired, I'm not a millennial, and so therefore I don't talk like a millennial. I don't respond like a millennial. So there's some tweaking that goes on based upon the response we get from the lead that allows us to go in and modify so that the next time that someone sends or says or texts something, that the system knows what to do, knows where to send it, and we're more successful. One thing about the new system is that it has a round robin capability. Because we didn't have the team version of conversion, which is very, very expensive, we weren't able. We had to manually transfer the leads, and that was laborious, as well as difficult to do. This new system allows the leads to be sent to each of the agents. They have a phone app that they can. They're not tied to their PC. The phone app tells them everything that's the PC version of the system provides. They can call the lead. The lead can call them, and they can work out. Eventually, the application screens the lead such that those that are serious, we get their phone number and email address, and then we step in and have one-on-one conversations with them.
Okay. So like fundamentally, before you had this system, as compared to now where you have it and it's been set up, you've been working with it for a while. Did you see a big growth in your business?
Yes. Yeah. What we were missing before, we no longer miss. Now, that's not to say that every agent and every lead was, correctly and adequately followed up with, but the system was there to do it. And now we are able to know, whether the agents may have fumbled or whether the agents may have failed to follow up, as well as where our system may have cut off a lead, and then we have the ability, based upon being able to see the conversational text, we're able to catch that before it drops through the crack and follow up with the lead.
Okay. And so have you seen any other differences in your business, like besides financially? What other differences has systemizing your business made?
Well, it's taken a lot of pressure off of Pat. The round robin feature is really a great feature. I'd look at all the leads that come in from the backside to see that the artificial intelligence dialogue and conversation when as expected, and I'll tweak that should that not occur. But the agents, they also have the ability to look at the dialogue or the agent dialogue with Skylar for their leads, only their leads. Each agent sees only their leads, but I can see how they followed up or failed to follow up with the lead, and I can reach out to them and see if they should correct or tell them to correct the problem.
Okay, so it kind of provides you like coaching opportunities.
Absolutely. I listen to all the recordings. and just to make sure that that there's no misunderstanding as to what the lead was asking for, and to make sure really that the agent followed up and provided the lead with what they were asking for, whether that was a showing, although typically, you know, we initially want to know whether the agent has representation. I'm sorry, a lead has representation with the agent, and if they are, you know, wanting to buy or sell, and whether they've been pre-approved if they're a buyer, and if they don't answer the questions the correct way, if they indicate they're just looking or they're asking for the price, then, you know, we don't spend as much time with them as we do those that you know, appear to be serious, and then we eventually have verbal communication with them. And while the system allows a lead that is serious and wants to speak with a loan officer to be able to transfer the lead to the loan officer for follow-up and pre-qual, we do the verbal handoff as opposed to the automated handoff at this time.
Okay. And so now your agents have this system pretty much backing them up. They have someone, really an eye in the sky, you know, giving them input and feedback on what they're doing and maybe how to improve that. Overall, what are their thoughts on all this big change? I'm sure this isn't something that they were used to before.
Well, it was initially novel and sort of cool, and there have been a lot of advancements in the system since we came on board. But they like it. They like it. You know, it takes some discipline. You know, the agents need to use the phone app so that everything is recorded in the system. And to the extent that they fail to do that, then the system doesn't know what their interaction with the lead is, and that's most important. That's the whole foundation of the system, is to be able to track and follow all communication with the lead.
Right. But overall, I mean, are their days less hectic? Does it seem that they're more organized?
Yeah, sure. You know, leads don't come in 10 a day. You know, sometimes there's 1 or 2, sometimes there's 15. And so, you know, what's neat about the phone app is that, you know, just like your any of your apps, it dings and it tells you how many leads you have, and so you know to go open the app and see what's happening, to see whether it's you know, see whether there's an action required on your part based upon the conversational text. So, you know, I don't drive around with our agents, so I don't know, you know, what the delay is between the time they get the first ding and the time that they, you know, make contact, if it's appropriate. That I don't know. I mean, everything is time stamped and all that in the system, so I can see that, but I don't know what they're doing that might have caused the delay and kept them from jumping on it, you know, within seconds after they saw that it was a hot lead, as we call it.
Okay. So have you seen that, you know, are they more productive in business? Are they bringing bigger production numbers year after year?
Well, we haven't had it long enough to know that. Okay. And so we're in our first year with it. And I must admit, we went to, I think it was December whenever we first signed on to the system. And then Pat and I had to go out of town for about a month. And we got back, and really it was just the out-of-the-box system. And we were using our number, our system number, to in our Craigslist post and our Facebook post, and we came back and we had all these leads that no one had done anything with. And so we missed a lot of opportunity in that first 30 or 45 days, and still until we started working with the system. And so you know, who knows what might have happened during that. Had we been well, you know, it's just that everything was new. We didn't know really all that we know now.
Yeah.
And so had we known now what we knew, had we known then what we know now, there's no doubt there's a lot of Craigslist ads that we would have handled differently. I mean, the system worked while we weren't there.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The system was working. It was talking to the leads on all of that. I was just amazed when we came back in town how many leads we had in the system.
So, I mean, so it sounds like the startup was a little bit tricky because, of course, there's a learning curve to it.
There is, and I think new agents that buy into the system now will get a more sophisticated template that really truly does provide an out-of-the-box solution. All they have to do is change the phone number and change their website. And beyond that, they don't have to spend as much time as I have, working on making the AI as smart as we can make it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, overall, do you see yourself using this system for time to come? I mean, what's your overall impression?
We really do. We really do. I think ultimately, I think it's going to be a self-contained CRM. I can see because it has the ability to do lots of things. Right now, we're using it sort of as a bolt-on to our current CRM, and because it's conversational. The CRMs that I'm aware of, really, they can send out text messages. They can, but that's about it. If someone responds back, they pass it to the agent via email or a text, and we're able to converse with the lead as if we're at our desk.
So why would you want? So we get the response from these other CRMs. They send out a text or an email or whatever, and get the response, hand it off to the agent. Why would you not want that versus a system that can have a conversation? What were the issues with that?
Well, I want, from my perspective, I want to continue the conversation. I want it to break up. I don't want to, I want to make the most effective use of the lead's time and not have the lead wait on the agent. Agents have the reputation of not answering the phone and not wanting to work whenever the client or lead wants to work, and so the Skylar helps the agent with a dialogue between the two, answering the agent's questions, and then serving up. The system serves up a screening service that's probably more important than perhaps anything else it does, because our agents don't have time to answer questions about with leads calling for price or just looking. We're interested in spending our time and getting the ROI from agents or leads that are serious, and they may need help getting financing. That's not a problem. We have people that can help with leads that have credit issues or not. They don't have pristine financing. That's not the issue. We want serious people that, if they can get a loan, they're ready to buy.
Right. So I guess it really just serves on a platter this person who's ready to go, and you already know the situation. It's not a guessing game. It's not your agent saying, "Oh, these leads are crap," because they never actually went out and screened the lead.
Yeah, and the agent didn't have to spend the time in dialoguing with the lead to ascertain the same information that the new generation likes to do via text.
Right.
The older generation may like the verbal communication, and that happens with our system too. Once we get to a certain point, once we know they're serious and they either are approved, they're a cash buyer, whatever the issues may be, but they have reach several steps beyond kicking the tires.
Okay. And does that increase the likelihood that that lead's going to work with your agents now that, I mean, Skylar is the system that we're talking about. It had that dialogue with them. Do you find that leads are more committed if they've gone through that dialogue to work with your agents?
I think so. At least we don't lose them. Okay. Whereas if you don't answer the phone call or you don't respond back to the text message that the CRM sends out, or they send back to the CRM, then chances are you're going to lose the lead. And we are trying to capture all the good leads that we can to make the sale, okay, and to make the client happy with what Pat and his team can provide for them.
Okay. Okay, great. I mean, so I guess really my last question here, Bob, what's the one piece of advice that you could give to any broker or team leader that was in the same position that Pat was in when he was in that boutique?
Take a look at Skylar. See if it's the right fit for you. Skylar is really works well for a team. A single agent might be able to handle all their phone calls. Once they get to a certain size and a certain volume, then they also could benefit from Skylar. Mm-hmm. But it's first of all, it's what's coming next. It's artificial intelligence is something that's fast approaching in our life. Look at the Echo, look at Alexa, look at Google Home. You ask them something and they respond. Well, we're trying to develop that in our business, and Skylar is the vehicle that we found serendipitously. We found it whenever we needed something like what it provides, and so we're eager to share the good news with other agents and teams.
Okay. Cool. I mean, if anyone has any questions, would you be open to them reaching out to you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I enjoy, I do some training. I do not so much on Skylar, but I do some training with KV Core. So I enjoy helping other agents be successful. Okay. I love mentoring my son, and I also love helping other agents with the knowledge that I know. It's easier, I found, for me to be able to show other agents how to do it by telling them, rather than have them have to read some words or a paragraph or two of how to do something. And right. They can learn from my lessons learned too, because it didn't always go well the first time for me.
Sure. All right, Bob. Well, I mean, I don't have any other questions. Anything you want to add, or?
Well, no. Well, yeah, I guess there is. We're very happy. We have, we dialogue with the developer of Skylar, and he's taken many of my recommendations and integrated them into Skylar. And so we keep making it a stronger and better product, every day. And it's fun to be on the leading edge of some high-end technology, and see how it can work and actually make Pat and his team much more productive. That's the end goal. Allow them to deal with more clients that result in more sales, that make the ROI for them and for Skylar, just off the charts.
Yeah. All right. Well, excellent. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, you bet. My pleasure.
All right, Bob. You have a good one.
Okay, you too. Over and out.
See ya.